Hello everyone. So today I'll be talking about how you can add a additional USB ports and a Ethernet port to a Raspberry Pi Zero. And this is because Raspberry Pi Zeros do not come with USB ports or a Ethernet RJ45 port. So basically, when you get a Raspberry Pi Zero, this is all you get. You just get a board, and the GPIO pins are not soldered onto the Raspberry Pi Zero board or motherboard. So it would just come like this. However, it does come with the GPIO pins, but you have to solder it onto the board. So if you don't know how to solder it onto the board, um, you could, and if you don't have a Raspberry Pi Zero, you could just get one with the GPIO pin soldered onto the board already. And that's an option. But for this project, you will have to have a GPIO, you would have to have the GPIO pins on the circuit board if you want to use the Raspberry Pi Zero hat with the USB and the Ethernet port. But if you want to use a Raspberry Pi Zero without a Ethernet port, it would be possible for you to do that without soldering on the GPIO pins. So for the USB only option, USB port only option, so this comes with this. Um, it allows you to add 4 USB ports with this board right here, with this hat board. So what you do is you just put this part is on the bottom, as you can see, and this part is on the top, and you just align it accordingly. So this part is here, it goes on here, and then you just align it with the board. So this is the front right here, and you just put it in, and then you just screw it on. That's it. It's as simple as that. So what makes this work is these pins right here, and these pins connect to your USB micro USB ports, which are right here, and that's what enables it to work. And you can get a case for this if you want. They sell cases for this board with a hat, that is. The hat with a board, hat and board combination. And you could have 4 additional USB ports. And I think you have to install a fresh version of Raspbian in order for you to use this board, or the latest version of the Raspbian operating system. And if it doesn't work out of the box, you have to go into the configuration file and configure the USB ports. And this option, I think, is probably the best option for adding a hat on a Raspberry Pi Zero. So for this one, you must have the GPIO pin soldered onto your board, or buy a board that comes with a GPIO pins on it already. So for this hat to work, this is the bottom part of it here, and then you just plug the GPIO pin, the female part, into here, and then that's it. It's connected. Simple as that. And you have this little thing here, this connector. This connector goes from your micro USB port here onto the micro USB on this board right here, which is right there, as you can see. You just plug it in and that's it. Simple as that. And this part right here is for the USB, micro USB power supply, basically. This is what goes into the wall outlet. This is the power. This is for the power adapter. And for this one, you get a RJ45 Ethernet port and 3 USB 2.0 ports. And the same thing here. You have to install a fresh version of Raspbian. And like I said, if it doesn't work out of the box, you have to go into the configuration file and configure the USB port. But most of the times, it would just work if you use a fresh version of the Raspbian OS or operating system. That's it. And this will give you. This is a lot better than using the other option of having a USB micro USB to USB adapter. I think this is a lot neater than having all those wires, in my opinion. So you could choose to do this if you want, and I think this is a good option. Nice, clean way to have a Raspberry Pi Zero without having all the messy wires.